earth. 1 second. Name is the Chatchila Ariba. Right? Is that the name? Right? The Chatchila Ariba. The Rebbe Sham? No, the Rebbe Sham?
Yeah, but I have to just talk about Nisim.
Yeah.
You think I asked him to sing this name?
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
I didn't.
That's crazy.
I didn't even discuss any Niggunim with him. With Eitan. Not at all.
That's like crazy.
We're in the middle of a sugya of understanding that the tikkun of our Metzias now is to be Koel L'Chatchila Ariba. We started on Monday. I didn't even know we were going to do this today. And we said that today, before we continue learning the inyan of L'Chatchila Ariba, we're going to sing the name. Who was here? Am I crazy?
100%. Mechaz. I'll send you the shir. The Chachila Riba.
I don't want to think we're pulling shtick on that.
For our next act.
I was thinking about singing a John Denver song next. Really?
That's crazy.
The show's
Thank you, Hashem.
I'm not saying this to Chas v'Shalom, give any cover to myself, but it makes me feel good. I gave this guitar to my brother as a gift, like 7-8 years ago. So it's like there's a piece of me in this room, just over here listening to the frets over here. So it's remember where I gave you? So my brother asked me to speak last night, and I kind of of course I said yes, and I texted him after whoa, 1 second, let me just make sure I have something to say. And I said, of course not, whatever, Hashem, it's Hashem, we'll always have something to say. And then just to share with you the learning that I've been doing in the morning. I learn every morning. So it's a really beautiful thing. I have a friend of mine I went to high school with in Los Angeles. And we actually went to yeshiva together, and I built up together we were roommates. But then I went to yeshiva in Maryland. He went back to Los Angeles, and he went to England, went back to New York. We came out no connection for literally 15 years. Maybe once every couple years I saw nothing, zero. And he, Baruch Hashem, in Los Angeles, he's part of the Keva over there, and he managed got turned on. He's shpia, and he learns, and we just got reconnected. And we learn Tzaddik every single morning, half hour every morning on Zoom. So he's after Shacharis, hopefully 9:30. For him, it's before Shacharis, 6:30. And we're learning it's true friendship comes through Torah. Right? True friendship. Okay, a cup of coffee here and there, a ball game, etc. True yidus comes from learning Torah together. So I'll share with you a piece or two from the Tzaddik, Sefer Sfarim. Not to be Meshabechi too much in front of you over here, but one of my big attractions to Chassidus and to just Pneumius was one one time I asked you, this is maybe like 20, 25 years, maybe 20 years ago or so. I asked you if you've learned of tzedek before. I just heard the sefer maybe, and I was getting into it. And you quoted for me, Bryce Aleph, Balka. I was like, all right, I want to be like him. Right? So this is, I find where I wanted to say. Says we'll read it inside and then we'll discuss a little bit. She'adam mekabel al atzmai, oil Torah, v'nichnas tachas avodas Hashem. This is mekabel upon himself. The oil of Torah. I hate when oil is translated as burning. It bothers me so much. You know, if a person is walking with a suitcase that is so heavy, because it's filled with, you know, stuff you got to bring home from America. Target and Amazon and Walmart all in one duffel bag. That's a burden. A good burden, that's a burden. If a guy is walking with a suitcase with $1 million in it, it's not heavy. It's not a burden. Meaning it might be heavy. It's not a burden. It's a responsibility. So oil Torah, it just always bugs me when I hear the word the burden or the yoke even. It's the honor, responsibility of Torah. So what did you say over here? Appeared to be a little bit one of those, you know, feelings. Tzarech Kabbalah Balev ve'Haskama Gemura. Kabbalah Balev ve'Haskama Gemura. A complete Haskama. La'azor kol chemdas ha'olam hazeh. To leave, to get rid of all of the desires of this world. Hamisnagdim, the Ratzon Hashem Yisbarach, that go against the will of Hashem. V'loy la'echos b'zeh v'gam yizeh ayanach yadai. Don't even be like, okay, I'll do this and I'll do that, and I'll have both. She'az zeh v'zeh lo yasa. Prevent both of them. Meaning because you can't really enjoy your olam hazeh, because you know that, like, it's wrong. Right? And you can't really enjoy your Torah because you're thinking about olam hazeh. Right? So you don't have either. And on this idea, it says the Gemara in Yoima, Lai Zacha, Rabbi's Gemara says, that Torah, im Zacha, nasis l'samchai, becomes a remedy of life. The im Lai Zacha, he's not Zaycha, Chas Hashem, the Gemara uses a strong lashon. What does it say? Nasis Lai, Sam HaMavas. It doesn't say it's like a not so good. Sam HaMavas, mamish death. The Gemara says. Also, it says by Esav. It says Vayar Esav Kira is Bnei. So it's interesting. Al Pi Pshat, I always thought that when he married Basmas, right in the parsha after it says that he saw that Yitzchak doesn't appreciate the local shidduch scene, right? It says go away to marry. He married Basmas, and the Midrash says that she was a tzedekis, and that's why he married her. Because he mechaved out. Right? It says, V'hainu me'achar shelo girash ha'ishaynos, but because he wasn't the garish, the first ladies that he married, he didn't get rid of the psilas. Rakim mevakish latzeis de Yitzchak, gam ki, he wanted to be his father's request. L'likach gam shlo Bnei Knan, and to also take a woman from not Bnei Knan. I mean, he held on to the olam hazeh, he held on to the impurity. Lekach nehefcha legamzeh right. We know that Basmas was terrible, but she started out as a tzedekis. But because it wasn't in the tzura that he's speaking of, that if a person wants to be nichnas tachas avodas Hashem, he has to really, completely rid himself. I don't know about you, but when I saw this, kind of bummed out. Not bummed out because I am so connected to my stake, or I'm obsessed with oil, because it's such a hammer drink. He's not. Tzaf Kabbalah Balev Haskama Gemura La'azoin Kol Chemdas Ha'olam. go when you leave. And B'dafka, he says, not a little bit. Not a little bit. Because you have a little bit, you have nothing. Right?
Does he time the name Basmat to Sam Mavet made? Because that's the same words.
Very good. And he doesn't, but
Sam Basmat, meaning that Sam Mam and must be, no?
very good.
What's going on there?
Hasidic Shavuot,
It's
kind
right
of.
there.
It's right there. So what do we do with this, right? What do we do with this? Because you can't ignore it. Much as we would love to. You can't ignore it. He says like this continues. He says, "Mikol makom nemar b'Torah, Anochi koydem lo yeh lecha." Mikol makom, nevertheless, we have a pretty strong makor that we still have hope. Why is that? Because according to what Rav Tzadok just said, the Seres HaDibros, at least the first two, should be opposite. It should be lo yeh lecha. Get rid of the other gods, and only then, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Right? Meaning, I can't be Mekayim Anochi Hashem Elokecha, according to what he just said. I can't be Mekayim to Mekabel al Atzmai al Torah v'nichlan estechel avodas Hashem if I still have shmutz, if I still have all the garbage in me. So Tshuda said, Koydem, this is what you gotta do. Lo yeh lecha lakim achrim al panai. Don't have any garbage, don't have any gods, don't have any oil mazet, don't have any tainug from this world. And only then you can be properly Mekayim Anochi Hashem Elokecha. So it doesn't say that. Thank you. It doesn't say that. It says Nemar b'Torah Anochi Koydem lo yeh lecha. Oh, so it doesn't. Ki etzel b'nei Yisrael v'adai me'anochi yaval lo yeh lecha b'soifai l'rachich. As by b'nei Yisrael, even if a person doesn't have lo yeh lecha perfected, the more he involves himself in anochi and the pe'ula of closeness to Hashem, the more of that you put in your life, the more and more you'll be able to be merachik yourself from everything else. Like the Gemara, famous Gemara Pesachim, it says, "Lo ilam yasek adam b'Torah mitzvahs shelo lishma, shelo lishma, lo lishma." Meaning, according to what we just said, what is lo lishma? Lo lishma means, again, we're not getting into the Shachaim, the Tanya, or what lo lishma means, but basically what he's saying, let's describe shelo lishma as being not 100% pure. Not 100% pure. Again, according to what we said before, a person cannot achieve ruchnius unless he's completely separated. Right? So no, the Gemara says, do shelo lishma. Shelo lishma, ba lishma. Right? But Taisus Hiksha, Mashu Matzidu B'cham Mekaymas, the Taisus over there, asked the Kasha. There's plenty, the Taisus actually says, I think it's Rabbi Yehuda, but I may be mistaken, but the same Amayra who said the whole Shalosh Balishma, he's the same one that says the following pretty intense statements. You know that it says Shekola Isaac Shalolishma, Noach Loi Shalol Nivra. The Gemara says that same Tanis, the same Amayra says that if a person is Isaac and Torah Shalolishma, it's better that he wouldn't have been created. The Shenepcha, right? It says the Gemara, what the Gemara says, it would have been better Shenepcha Shilyasai, right? It would be better that in utero, right, the placenta would turn upside down and you wouldn't come out, right? And he's the one that says, "V'lo zacha nasas l'sam hamavis." So the Taisus asked the question. It's the same Bala Memra. It's the same person who says all these terrible, terrible things about a person who learns Torah Shelo Lishma. he himself says, no. Learn Shalom Lishma, and took Shalom Lishma, Bal Lishma. So Tosfos gives an answer. Tosfos gives an answer and says, the Gemaras over there's two types of Shalom Lishma. One type is when a person walks into the Beis Medrash for one reason only, to be seen. He uses regularly salad and malas al mizbechi. I think this farmer speaking about, right? Don't go up the ladder of your own gaiva on my mizbeach's account, right? Don't be gaivadik about the fact that you're learning. Don't learn because of gaiva. He says that kind of gaiva, much better, you never existed. But the type of Shalom Lishma that our Gemara is speaking about is atzlus. It's taiva. It's not for myself. My Shalom Lishma is that I'm so distracted, I'm so busy, I'm so not into it, right? So listen to what he says. So now I'm not sure. I didn't really look into this too much, but I'm not sure if the answer he's about to give is going against what Tosfos said, or he's Libya merely that he's continuing on with that same idea, but from a different angle. Listen to this; it's so beautiful. Aval be'emes shneim emes. Really, both statements are true. He says, like Tosfos said. Afal pi, right? The chala isik shalosh mabal lishma. And Afa Bishudez, the Shalom Lishma Noach, Venases, meaning even though a person knows, a person is learned enough to know those Gemaras that speak about the what's it called? The mius and the disgust of Shalom Lishma, he'll still continue learning Shalom Lishma. Why is that? He's accepted upon himself that even if it's Shalom Lishma, he's accepted upon himself. Why? And he said, why does he learn? I have a better idea. Don't learn. Go play tennis. It doesn't say if you play tennis, it's better that your placenta would have flipped over, right? So I'm not going to learn now because I can't. I'm not learning in the purity that Chazal want me to. Because at the very least, with all the bilbul and with all the pain and the lack of perfection, he's going to Beis Medrash because he has a cheshek. He has a cheshek to want to be on a higher level. What can I do? The reality is that I still enjoy Olam Hazeh and everything that it offers. And I still am nichshar in getting carried away with the things I know I shouldn't be getting carried away with. But my cheshek, my ratzon, is to be in the right place. And then he says, "Be'avasa shel Torah yishke, ve'afal pi sheyodea sakana ve'arasha b'seich." Meaning, let me come up to Hashem and say, Hashem, my biggest avera was that I learned, but I didn't learn perfectly. I love Torah so much that it pulled me to the Beis Medrash, and yes, it wasn't perfect. I came to Seder that night after eating way too much. I got carried away with a conversation with a person I shouldn't have been speaking to. I was looking at something that I shouldn't have been looking at. I spoke Lashon Hara. But my cheshek brought me to shul. My cheshek brought me back. So that Torah that I learned that night, or that lifetime, right? But that lifetime wasn't perfect. But let that be my din in Shemayim. Let that be my problem, and not other problems. Why? If you should touch Shlomo Shma Balashma, Raz Yashuba Kolatar. Meaning his point is, Rabbi Yehuda, I think it's Rabbi Yehuda, I don't remember. The Amira is saying that even though Shlomo Shma has grave consequences to it, but if the person is in the right place of mind, and I'll say even more than that. I'll say even more, because I'm feeling now that what I said before is not right. I think I'm going to say that even according to Tosfos' explanation, the type of person who all those negative things are said about him when he learns Shlomo Shma is speaking about somebody that walks in with his chest up and with a gaiva, which is... I'm sure you guys, I'm sure everybody here has seen. No matter how big a Talmid Chacham might be, if you smell gaiva, it's the worst. You can't be makabel anything from that person. But maybe your tzaddik speaking about that guy also. Gaiva, obviously gaiva comes from a place of a lack of self-confidence. Right? The biggest bully in school is the one who gets bullied at home. Right? The biggest balad gaiva, a person is able to see past the uncomfortable and truly, kind of gross experience. You can look a little bit past that. Very honest, you see a broken person. Very honest, you see a broken person who doesn't have anything going for them inside. Even that person, I would say, yeah, come. Do you want to be seen in Beis Medrash? Come. Okay? You'll be seen. Everyone will see you there. Shkoyach, I learned. Very good. Da-da-da-da-da. But maybe there'll be like 3 seconds there that you'll forget about that. Maybe a couple of seconds that a person will, those 3 seconds are worth it. Because Anoichi brings you to Loyam. And we take Shlomo Shma Balashma. Now obviously, the level of learning Lashma is pretty much reserved for the Tzaddik Yaddah. Let's be real. We, Baruch Hashem, because I'm sure you guys, it's a different level over here, but I sometimes had moments where I kind of like lose myself. And I had moments, rare occasions where maybe you can have a Havan that is Lashma, right? It sounds like Yisrael Olam is the one that is able to learn Lashma, live Lashma consistently. If it wasn't for this Gemara that said we took Shlomo Shma Balashma, we would have no chance. But it's really important that when we take out from here, we can't just look at this as a pat on the back. We have to look at this as a responsibility to keep focused on our goal. That my goal is to learn Torah and become mitzvahs because Hashem Yisbarach told me, and nothing else. And nothing else. No covet in the world, no this, no that. I just want to do Hashem's will because Hashem told me to. I want to read just one more